Ladies and gentlemen, today, let's talk about something we all wonder at some point, how to make someone miss you like crazy. Now, I know what you're thinking. Is there a secret formula? Is there a magic trick? Well, I have news for you. It's not about chasing someone. It's about becoming someone they can't ignore. There is nothing more powerful than being unapologetically yourself. In a world that constantly tries to mold you into something else, standing firm in your identity is what truly makes you unfettable. Too often people try to fit into expectations, thinking that if they become what others want, they will be loved, valued, and missed. But the truth is, the people who leave the greatest impact are the ones who dare to be different, who embrace every part of themselves, flaws, strengths, quirks, and all. The moment you stop apologizing for who you are is the moment you step into your true power. Confidence is magnetic. When you walk into a room knowing exactly who you are, people can feel it. They may not always say it out loud, but they notice. Your energy, your presence, and the way you carry yourself become impossible to ignore. It's not about arrogance, it's about self-assurance. When you know your worth, you don't beg for attention, you attract it effortlessly. And when you're not around, people feel that absence deeply. They remember the confidence, the authenticity, the realness that made you stand out in the first place. Many people make the mistake of thinking that in order to be missed, they need to constantly be in someone's life, always available, always saying yes. But true presence is not about how often you show up, it's about how deeply you impact others when you do. When you live as your true self without pretending, people connect with you on a genuine level. That kind of connection doesn't fade easily. It lingers in the mind and heart, creating a lasting impression that makes your absence feel significant. There is something incredibly powerful about a person who doesn't shrink themselves to make others comfortable. The world admires those who own their story, who embrace their journey with pride. When you stop seeking approval and start walking in your truth, people respect you more. And when they respect you, they remember you. They don't just miss you because of what you did for them, they miss you because of who you are. Being unapologetically yourself also means setting boundaries. It means knowing when to walk away from situations that don't serve you. When you have the courage to say no, to protect your energy, and to value yourself enough to step back when needed, you teach people how to treat you. And ironically, when you respect yourself, others begin to respect you even more. They start to see that you are not someone they can take for granted. That's when they begin to miss you, not just because you're gone, but because they realize they can't find someone like you anywhere else. So if you want to be unforgettable, if you want to be truly missed, stop trying to be like everyone else. The right people will recognize your value, and when they do, they won't just miss you, they will wish they had appreciated you more when they had the chance. The most powerful way to make someone miss you is not by waiting for them to notice you, it's by becoming someone they can't ignore. People don't miss those who blend into the background, they miss those who bring something extraordinary into their lives. When you focus on building a life that is fulfilling, exciting, and full of purpose, you naturally become someone others admire. You don't have to chase anyone because your energy, ambition, and drive will make them crave your presence. Success isn't about proving a point to anyone, it's about proving to yourself that you are capable of greatness. When you wake up every day with passion and dedication, when you put your heart and soul into everything you do, the world notices. People start wondering what makes you so unstoppable, what fuels your fire. And when you're not around, that curiosity turns into longing. They don't just miss you, they miss the way you inspire them, the way your presence adds meaning to their world. There's something incredibly attractive about a person who is too busy chasing their dreams to worry about who is paying attention. The irony is that the moment you stop seeking validation, people start giving it to you. When you are focused on your own growth, whether it's in your career, your passions, or simply becoming the best version of yourself, others can't help but admire your journey. They see your confidence, your independence, and your commitment to your own success, and suddenly your presence becomes something valuable, something they don't want to lose. People don't miss someone who is always available, who is constantly seeking attention, or who revolves their life around others. They miss those who are too focused on their own mission to be distracted. When you create a life that is so full, so exciting, and so fulfilling, people feel your absence in a way that words can't describe. They start to wonder what you're up to, what new goals you're chasing, and whether they still have a place in your world. Your energy is your greatest asset. If you spend it trying to impress or please others, you lose your power. But when you pour that energy into yourself, into building something meaningful, into creating a life that excites you, you become someone who naturally draws people in. And when they can't be a part of it, that's when they start missing you. Because they realize that what you bring to the table isn't something they can find just anywhere. At the end of the day, the goal isn't to make people miss you out of loneliness or regret. The goal is to be so focused on your own journey, so committed to your own success, that your presence becomes irreplaceable. And when people do miss you, it won't just be because you're gone, it will be because they see what you've built. And they know they should have value you when they had the chance. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is step back. When you give people space to feel your absence, you allow them to truly understand what you bring into their lives. The problem is, too many people are afraid of distance. They think if they aren't constantly present, they'll be forgotten. But the truth is, real connections don't fade just because you take a step back. If someone values you, they will notice your absence. If they don't, then that's your answer. It means they never truly appreciated you in the first place. Closeness is important, but too much of anything can make people take it for granted. When you're always available, always showing up, always making the effort, people get used to it. They stop noticing the little things that make you special. They stop appreciating your presence because they assume you'll always be there. But the moment you pull back, the moment you stop overgiving, something interesting happens. They start to wonder. They start to feel the void. They start to realize that your presence wasn't just an everyday convenience, it was a gift. It takes strength to create distance, especially when you care about someone. But that strength is necessary because it teaches people how to treat you. If you're always there, always saying yes, always showing up, people may respect you, but they won't always value you. But the moment you prioritize yourself, the moment you give them space to experience life without you, they're forced to see what you truly mean to them. Silence is powerful. Distance is a lesson. When you stop forcing connections and allow things to unfold naturally, you learn who truly values you. If someone never reaches out when you step back, then maybe they were never meant to be in your life. But if they feel your absence, if they start realizing how much you matter, they will find their way back. And when they do, it won't be out of obligation, it will be because they genuinely miss you. The strongest people are not the ones who hold on tightly, but the ones who know when to let go. Giving space is not about playing games, it's about self-respect. It's about understanding that you don't have to prove your worth to anyone. You don't have. The most unforgettable people are the ones who leave a mark not just with their presence, but with their words, their actions, and the way they make others feel. It's not about being the loudest in the room or constantly reminding people of your worth. It's about creating moments that resonate, moments that stay with someone long after you're gone. Because at the end of the day, people don't miss words, they miss the emotions those words created. They don't just miss actions, they miss the impact those actions had on their lives. Every interaction is an opportunity to leave an imprint. The way you speak, the way you listen, the way you support others, these are the things that make people remember you. When you genuinely care, when you uplift and inspire, you create a space in someone's mind that can't be replaced. And when you're no longer there, that space feels empty. They start to realize that not everyone brings the same energy, the same wisdom, the same kindness. That's when they begin to miss you. It's easy to be present, but it takes depth to be unforgettable. Some people are surrounded by others all the time, yet they feel a void because no one truly adds value to their lives. But when you are someone who speaks with purpose, who acts with intention, who leaves people better than you found them, your presence becomes irreplaceable. You don't have to force anyone to think about you, they will naturally, because what you bring is rare. Have you ever met someone who made you feel seen, heard, and understood? Someone who challenged you to think differently, to grow, to believe in yourself a little more? That kind of presence is powerful. That kind of presence is missed when it's gone. So instead of worrying about how often you need to show up in someone's life, focus on how deeply you impact them when you do. One powerful conversation, one act of kindness, one moment of encouragement can be enough to make someone think about you long after you've left the room. The secret isn't to try harder to be remembered, it's to be more intentional with how you show up. Speak from the heart, be genuine, let your energy be something people crave, not something they can easily replace. And when you walk away, do so with confidence, knowing that the right people will feel your absence, not because you asked them to, but because what you gave was truly meaningful. At the end of the day, people don't miss the ones who were simply around. They miss the ones who made them feel something real. Be that person. Let your presence be a gift and your absence a reminder of just how rare you are. The most powerful thing you can do in life is move with purpose, not desperation. There is something incredibly magnetic about a person who knows what they want, who walks into a room with confidence and who doesn't beg for attention but commands it effortlessly. When you chase people, when you constantly seek validation, you give away your power. But the moment you shift your focus from seeking approval to building your own path, everything changes. People don't miss those who cling to them, they miss those who have something valuable to offer. Desperation repels, but purpose attracts. When you move with purpose, when your life is filled with ambition, dreams, and meaningful goals, people can't help but take notice. They start to wonder what makes you so focused, what drives you, what fuels your passion. And when they realize that you're not waiting around for them, that you're too busy chasing something bigger than their approval, that's when they start to feel your absence. They don't just miss you because you're gone, they miss you because you have become someone they admire from afar. People are naturally drawn to those who are secure in themselves. Think about it, who do you remember the most? The ones who constantly sought your attention, or the ones who were so focused on their journey that their energy inspired you? The ones who made you feel like they needed you, or the ones who made you feel like you wanted to be around them? The truth is, we are drawn to those who have something meaningful going on in their lives. When you have purpose, when you have drive, when you're working towards something that excites you, people will feel that energy. And the more they see you thriving without them, the more they'll wish they had a place in your world. Confidence is quiet, desperation is loud. You don't have to announce your worth, just live in a way that shows it. The more you focus on yourself, your dreams, and your personal growth, the more attractive you become. You don't need to prove your value to anyone who doesn't already see it. The right people will recognize it, and the ones who don't, let them watch from a distance. The best kind of presence is one that doesn't demand attention but earns it effortlessly. At the end of the day, you should never want to be missed because you begged for someone's presence. You should be missed because your life is so full, so exciting, so driven by purpose that people feel your absence when you're not there. So stop waiting for anyone to see your worth. Build your empire, chase your goals, and let them realize what they lost when you were too focused on winning. Move with purpose, and the right people will follow. The secret to being unforgettable isn't in trying to make people miss you, it's in becoming someone they can't forget. The truth is, people don't remember the ones who try too hard to stay in their lives. They remember the ones who bring something rare, something special, something that can't be replaced. When you focus on becoming the best version of yourself, on growing, evolving, and stepping into your full potential, you naturally become someone people miss, not because you ask them to, but because your energy, your presence, and your impact were too powerful to ignore. Think about the people who have left a mark on your life. Were they the ones who constantly tried to prove their worth to you? Or were they the ones who carried themselves with confidence, who had a sense of purpose, who knew their value without needing anyone else's validation? The most unforgettable people are the ones who stand out because they refuse to blend in. They walk with self-assurance, they chase their dreams with relentless passion, and they never lower their standards just to fit into someone else's life. Becoming unforgettable isn't about playing games or making people feel your absence on purpose. It's about showing up as someone so authentic, so powerful, so self-assured that people can't help but notice. It's about living a life that excites you so much that others feel inspired just by watching you. When you carry that kind of energy, people don't just remember you, they crave your presence. They miss you because what you bring to the table isn't something they can find anywhere else. The best way to make someone miss you is not to wait around for their attention, it's to become so busy living your best life that they can't help but notice. Work on yourself, chase your dreams, build a life that makes you proud. When you are focused on your own growth, on your own success, on becoming stronger, wiser, and more confident every day, you stop worrying about who is paying attention. And that's when people start paying attention the most. You have to believe that you are irreplaceable, because you are. There is no one else who can be you, who can bring what you bring, who can shine in the way that only you can. So stop trying to force anyone to see your worth. The right people will feel your absence because what you offered was genuine, powerful, and real. And the ones who don't, let them go. At the end of the day, the goal isn't just to be missed. The goal is to be so unforgettable that people feel lucky to have known you at all. And the only way to do that is to live fully, love deeply, and walk through this world knowing exactly who you are. Because when you do that, you won't have to make anyone miss you, they just will.